All right, we're on to the Cincinnati Bengals. We've got Joe Burrow.
Yep.
Jamar Chase.
Yep.
And then the third one, Trevor's going Trey Hendrickson. And I think that's a clear battle between Trey Hendrickson and T. Higgins. Which way would you go here?
I mean, I think the 1 and 2 are definitely slam dunk, obvious answers. Yeah, number 3, I think those are probably the players that you would have listed. Is there anyone else? Mike Hilton, maybe, would be in that conversation as well. Geno Stone is coming off a career year, but again, a little bit like Madubuike, I'd say, what's the baseline expectation rather than what he did last season?
Plus, like, let's see it again type of thing.
Yeah.
I think the debates between Trey Hendrickson and T. Higgins, clearly Burrow and Chase.
Yeah, I think Hendrickson is the correct answer. I mean, Higgins, number 1, he's been more consistently good. Number 2, Higgins isn't coming off a great year. You know, I think Higgins is starting to become a little bit more of those players where the idea of Higgins might actually be better than the reality of Higgins.
No.
I don't know.
No, I mean, just in two, like, let's
so,
not,
okay,
just in
he's being talked about in the same breath as Brandon Ayuk in terms of, like, veteran player that might be available for trade if you want to stump up a first-round draft pick, right? If you gave me the option right now of Brandon Ayuk versus T. Higgins, it would be like 95% of me would take Ayuk, but 5% of me would be on the Higgins side of that.
As I always like to do, last year at this time, Ayuk kind of broke out last year. It's not that he wasn't good previous to that. He just looked special last year. If we were talking after the 2022 season, is it a toss-up? I think it was clearly Higgins. Because Higgins in 22, Jamar Chase got hurt, and T got to step up and be that wide receiver 1 for several games, and he did it, right? So I think it's I think it's closer than you're saying, even though clearly I agree. Ayuk was much better last year and took this step forward in his career where it's like, yeah, Ayuk is an elite route runner. He's elite at the catch point and does everything extremely well, and I want that guy.
I mean, I think he was pretty fantastic the year before as well. Like, again, Ayuk feels a lot like Kyle Hamilton, where it's been this continuous progression towards absurd. And the only thing, not even holding him back, but the only cap on his play right now is the fact that the 49ers offense is amazing, that they run a specific type of offense. He's not going to get the volume that some other number 1 receivers are. And they've got 17 other amazing players to feed the ball to as well. I just think the gap between him and Higgins is significant. And again, like I feel like the conversation around Higgins at the moment overlooks the fact that he hasn't ever, like, he's not shown at any point that he can be, outside of like a few games where Jamar Chase was out, he hasn't really shown that he can be that number 1 guy in an offense for any period of time.
Going back to Hendrickson, joined the Bengals in 2021. Remember, he was more of a part-time player with the Saints for a few years, had never played more than 661 snaps. Super Bowl year, plays almost 1,000 snaps and over 750 over the last couple of years and continued to play better. I mean, Hendrickson, grade-wise, getting better. He finishes plays extremely well. So I'm fine with Hendrickson as the play here. I mean, he is an impact player for that Bengals defense, and really important as it's difficult for them to keep around players like DJ Reader, and there's been turnover on that defense over the last couple of years. Hendrickson's been a key part of their success.
Back-to-back seasons with a PFF pass rushing grade of 90 or above. I mean, he's there are no questions about what his ceiling and what his sort of true capability is relative to T. Higgins. So I think he's the right answer.